Hi everyone and welcome to the channel. This is Adinin and today we will be playing NBA 2K25. Today's matchup will be between Boston Celtics and the Utah Jazz.
Welcome all. Thanks for tuning in to 2K Sports. We've got some NBA action coming up for you. I'm Brian Anderson, here with Grant Hill and Stan Van Gundy. And with us on the sidelines, we've got Allie LaForce. Here's what Utah has lined up on their schedule. On Wednesday, they head out on the road to face the Hawks in Atlanta. Then on Friday, they'll be facing Al Horford and the San Antonio Spurs.
And for that matchup with the Pistons, it's the second game of a back-to-back, so you know there'll be some heavy legs out there. Playing that much basketball in that short amount of time really takes its toll on your body.
Looking at the starting five for Boston. The two Jays, Brown at the 3 and Tatum at the 4. Holiday at the 1 with White at the 2. And it's Porzingis in at the 5. And for Utah, we've got Walker Kessler, Lauri Markkanen out there with George. And it's Pollard in at the shooting guard position. Well, Coach, we're still very early in the NBA season. When you were coaching, what was your focus around this time?
Early in the season, Brian, really in the entire season, but especially early, you just want to try to be getting better every single night, making the corrections from one night to the next, and just keep growing as a team.
Just 3 to shoot. Here's George. Good D by Porzingis. And so it's Holiday who brings up the ball for Boston. Out of bounds, it'll be Utah's ball. Now here's George. They really needed more from him in that loss to Phoenix. Pass to Pollard. Over White. Pollard can't get it to go. Holiday against George. Holiday looking for an opening. Down low. Stolen by Kessler. Here's George. And he elevates for the jam. Jason Tatum on the receiving end.
Yes, sir. George with the flush.
On the AT&T 5G Slam Cam, good looks by our terrific camera crew. And now just over a minute played here in the first. Outside Holiday. Tatum a screen on George. Holiday passes to Tatum, and it's good for 2.
And setting the tempo with an assertive move, like, where was the defense on that play?
Well, when you are the aggressor this early, it is intimidating.
Now here's George. Off target from 3-point range. And coach, a perennial all-defense performer, Drew Holiday. Fearsome at that end of the floor in particular.
Yeah, Brian, he's as good a defensive guard as there is. Great size and strength at the point guard spot. You combine that with his IQ and his competitive will, he is a problem on a nightly basis.
1 for 5 out there, but no worries. Just keep attacking.
Brown with a screen. Here's Tatum. And then Tatum slams it in.
That's a big-time move by Jason Tatum. I don't know how many style points you give him on that one.
The Jazz have gone 1 of 5 to start things off. Pass to Markkanen. Shoots over Brown. And Markkanen gets it to go on the assist by George.
Well, he can beat you in a lot of ways. Very challenging to defend.
George against Holiday to the inside. Porzingis.
Sweet.
And he banks in the layup.
And given how tall Porzingis is, not many guys are going to block his shot, especially when he's this close.
Utah calls timeout. The Jazz making a switch here. A look now at the leaderboard to see which teams had the toughest defenses this past season. Number 1, the Celtics.
And their gritty mentality when it came to defense was really infectious. They were the best last year at holding opposing teams to low-scoring totals.
Just over 2.5 minutes played here in the first. George passes to Pollard. Back to George. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Bennett. Goes up again, and he lays it up and in.
Good things come to those who hustle. He creates the second chance opportunity.
Tatum feeling it out a bit. And he lobs it up top.
That's what's up.
Brown with the stuff.
A big athletic finish by Brown, polishing off the lob pass with authority.
First quarter of action, just under 3.5 minutes played. George against Holiday. Here's Kessler. And finished off by Kessler.
I'll tell you, he is so tough to keep down once he gets near that rim.
Yeah, he can get up even a few notches higher. And Joe Mazzulla calls timeout here. And we might see some changes. Coach potentially a big group substitution here from Boston. Cada's checked in for Porzingis. Hauser comes in for Tatum. Springer, he's checked in for White. And Pritchard is subbed in for Drew Holiday. First quarter of play and just over 3.5 minutes in. Here's Pritchard. They set the pick to the middle. And he's going to the line for 2. The official saw contact while he was going up. And Stanley went undrafted back in 2021. But Wisconsin native Sam Hauser has worked his way into a rotation role.
Well, Brian, everyone's looking for shooters, and he is a knockdown shooter. And at 6'7", boasts good size and plays both ends of the court.
First one falls for him. Hendricks is checked in for Utah. That's also good, so he hits both free throws.
Well, he's been very good at the line, and we all know free throws can make or break you in the end.
Here's Collier. Fires at the elbow. Hauled in by Brown. The Celtics with the lead. Pass to Queta. Played it in with a nice touch off the window.
Getting enough shots in close to play inside out.
The Jazz shooting just 36% here in the first quarter. Marking it outside. There's 31 seconds left to play in the first quarter. The three-pointer off the mark. Celtics lead by 4. Oh, what a performance offensively.
They're really rolling at that end. Excellent game plan.
And there's the screen. Springer passes to Hauser. And that one good.
See, now that layup isn't possible without the help of the pick.
Here's Collier. Sinks the tray. Here's Brown. It'll count. That one no good. 1 quarter in the books. And it's been a close one. Boston out in front, up 3. And the second quarter about to get started. We'll be back in a moment. And close game underway so far. We'll see if either of these teams can jump out ahead in the second quarter. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Celtics.
Well, the way they've been attacking inside is phenomenal. consistently getting high percentage looks, and that's what great offenses are all about.
Yeah, also, you got to appreciate how unselfish they've been. I mean, the ball movement has been impressive, and the assist numbers are off the chart.
They've got Collier, and it's Bennett in at the 5. That's the group for Utah right now. Tatum can't hit. Jazz trail by 3. Inside. Tipped. Here's Springer. Yet to see a basket. The rebound by the Jazz. Bennett's got 4 rebounds now. To the left wing. Fires it from 18. The rebound, Celtics.
Well, and even though he couldn't get that one to fall, that's a shot they want him taking.
Outside Tatum. Three-pointer. Again, the miss by the Celtics.
And the defense got away with one there. I mean, that's a shot he typically makes.
Pass to Collier. Here's Bennett. Here's Sensabaugh. Oh, he finds himself wide open and drills it. Sensabaugh's gotten his first bucket of the night. Stan, you started as an assistant in the NBA back in 1995. Now, all of these years later, for a coach, what's been the biggest change, you think?
Well, I think the biggest change, Brian, has been that we don't practice as much. There's much less time spent on the court with your team. It's more done in terms of film and individual work and not 5-on-5 type practice like it was back in 1995.
You mean to say we're talking about practice?
That's exactly right.
And so it looks like the Celtics will retain possession here. Utah making a switch here. Williams is checked in. Kristaps Porzingis, he's checked in for Boston. Drew Holiday comes in for Springer. Here's Pritchard. He's scoreless. Tatum showing off the strength.
They just look so overwhelmed inside. You know, that's why they continue to get attacked.
And Utah calls time here. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing that last matchup with Phoenix.
And that was a tough loss. 1 or 2 breaks go their way, and it's a totally different outcome.
Yeah, it's often a game of very slim margins, and those close losses somehow sting even more.
Tatum's checked in for Hauser. Looking back at last season, the best when it comes to shot blocking. Well, you look at Kessler, a force on the defensive end, 3rd in the league in block shots.
It's obvious that he completely dedicated himself to protecting the rim, doing everything he could to get his hands on as many shots as possible.
We're now about 2 minutes into the second quarter. Williams on the wing. Pass to Sensabaugh. Over Holiday. Sensabaugh.
Glad it missed.
Well, he's got the green light in that situation. They want him taking that shot, even if he didn't get it to go.
They double team Tatum. Porzingis surveying the floor. Back to Tatum. And stolen by Williams. 2-on-1 as they jump out on the break. And he was fouled while in the act of shooting, so he'll take 2 free throws.
That's his first personal.
That one on Tatum.
No debate there. He got hammered.
Utah shooting their first free throws of the night. The free throw drops for Williams. Good on both. Here in quarter 2, we've played a little over 2.5 minutes now. Outside Holiday to the paint. Here's Keita. That one falls. Nice feed that time from
Nice.
Holiday. Keita's got his 2nd bucket on the night.
Well, Holiday has terrific vision. He's great at spotting open guys.
Here's George. So it'll be 2 free throws. He was fouled in the act of shooting. Well, some great scorers in the NBA right now, Stan. Anyone you think doesn't get enough credit for their offensive talents?
Wow, Brian, that is a tough question. So many guys putting up such big numbers right now. Devin Booker maybe still a little overshadowed by Kevin Durant. De'Aaron Fox maybe overshadowed by Sabonis. And Tyrese Maxey certainly is overshadowed playing with Embiid.
And there's no question George can fill it up. For him, it's about focusing on shooting good percentages.
George hits them both.
And during his rookie year, Keontae George started about half of his game running the point most of the time. That experience will pay off for him.
Now here's Tatum. 6 points for him. Porzingis sets a screen to the inside.
Well, that's an unforced error.
Give me a break.
Coach crazy? That's the way to do it.
Hendricks is checked in for Utah. Utah leading. Here in the second quarter, just under 3.5 minutes played. George's shot is off. For Boston, they've got 2 of 7 attempts to drop since the end of the first quarter. Here's Pritchard, still without a bucket, and the shot goes. And the Celtics lead by 1.
Yeah, their defense is starting to wear down. That's 3 straight buckets at the rim.
Gives us a chance to catch up with Allie LaForce.
Brian, Lauri Markkanen's shooting stroke at 7 feet tall had former Mavericks coach Rick Carlisle comparing him to Dirk. Lauri said it feels good to hear that because he's obviously a Hall of Famer, but there's still a long way to go, and it gives me more motivation to keep getting better. He's not getting a big head, Brian.
No, he's not, and that's the way you have to approach it to be great. Thanks, Allie. And Joe Mazzulla calls timeout here. He wants to give him a breather and talk things over. Boston with some changes. Tillman's checked in for Queta. Jaylen Brown comes in for Tatum. And Derek White subbed in for Pritchard. .105 left in the first half. Porzingis with a screen on George. Holiday finds Porzingis. Operating inside. Porzingis.
And another great assist. The offense is really clicking now.
Up top, George. He's covered by Holiday. Markkanen. And all around the rim that time before dropping. Markkanen's got 6 points.
Way to rise to the occasion and snatch back the momentum.
Yeah, plenty of lead changes in this game. It's gone back and forth.
Holiday passes to Porzingis. Yep, that one's good. He's got 6.
Nice play. Porzingis, such a good finisher in the two-man game.
Here's Pollard. He's guarded by White. 20 seconds left in the first half of basketball. Pollard can't get it to go. Holiday against George. Porzingis with a screen on George. Holiday from long range. Knocks it down from distance. And now it's a 4-point Celtic lead.
Rock solid screen right there. The defender got completely lost.
Yeah, you've got to lock and trail hard. You can't allow him a clean look.
And we're through the first half of play here in what's been a good one. Boston out in front. They're up by 4. And we'll be right back after halftime for the start of the third quarter. See you in just a bit.
And we welcome you to halftime as the Boston Celtics are getting everything they can handle so far.
This has been a display of what we often talk about on this show. Unselfish ball movement, usually leads to better shots. Now, I could say this. They're generating a lot of clean looks, guys.
Yeah, it's tough to beat a team that's in sync. Big advantage in the assist column. Check that out. And now, here's the player of the week from both the East and West. Looking at the East, Paulo Banchero.
Finally, we're giving props to a big. Enough of these little dudes winning MVPs and awards. Basketball is for my guys, the tall dudes.
Yeah. Bigs never win anything in the NBA. Thanks for tuning in. Now we head back to Brian Anderson for the start of the third quarter.
And we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been a fairly even one. One of the stories here, Jason Tatum. Man, is he getting it done today?
He's been dominating down low. Gotta assume they'll keep feeding him the rock.
That's certainly what I'd do. Until the defense shows they can stop him, ride the hot hand.
So it's Boston now. They lead by 4. Taking a look at the Celtics. Tatum is the 4 with Porzingis at center. The perimeter pairing, it's White and Brown. And it's Holiday in at the 1 spot. A nice shot by Brown.
Passing out of a pick and roll. Tatum's such a good decision maker. You want the ball in his hands.
The Jazz shooting 41% in this game. Pollard, the pass to George. Here's Pollard. He's guarded by White. Here's Hendricks. Shoots over Tatum. Hendricks, no good.
Good defense. Good defense.
And here we go. The Celtics on the run. Here's White. And count the basket.
That's what's up.
And he's going to the
Yeah.
line for one more.
That's his first personal foul. First team foul.
And, Coach, you look at Derek White, maybe not the biggest name, but he is a winning player.
Yeah, Brian, he's one of the most underrated players in the league. He's got a great feel for the game at both ends of the court. He is tremendously solid across the board.
Free throw off from White. Stan, you're the son of a coach. Your dad was a great coach at the collegiate level. What was the best advice you ever received from him?
Well, Brian, the one that has always stuck with me is he told me in my first season, if you think you've got all the answers, it's only because you don't know all the questions. And I think that's true in everything, not just basketball.
Down low. Oh, deflected. Now Brown, clock at 6. Tatum, a screen on Markkanen. Brown passes to Tatum. Over Markkanen. The rebound by Markkanen. Jazz trail by 6. And we're just about a minute and a half into the third quarter of basketball. Here's Pollard. Shoots over White. Shot is good. Pollard.
Oh, what a crafty move, causing the defender to pause right there.
And so it's Holiday who brings up the ball for the Celtics. White on the wing. Tatum with a screen. Boston, no good that time either.
You won't see him miss that one too many times.
Yeah, it was a great look. Sometimes they don't fall. You've just got to keep taking great shots.
Boston leading by 4. Outside Holiday. Inside. And the Jazz pushing it up now. And there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
And that's gotta hurt. A turnover for a free run at the rim.
And now we know who has the momentum.
A sequence like that really does sting. I'll tell you that much.
Jason Tatum, he's a sharpshooter.
And Tatum takes a lot of threes. And you see why, given he has this kind of accuracy.
And Utah calls time here. Sensible checked in for Utah. Collier comes in for George. And the Celtics also making a change. Pritchard's checked in for White. Just over 2.5 minutes gone by in the second half. Here's Sensible. He's covered by Holiday. To the right side. Markkanen against Brown. A show of force by Markkanen to get through.
They have no answer defensively inside.
Boston leading by 3. Outside Holiday. Tatum with a screen. Holiday passes to Tatum. And the shot is good on the assist by Holiday. Holiday's got 7 assists in the game.
Keep getting him the ball. He's been a huge part of this offense.
Third quarter action. Just under 3.5 minutes have passed. Out to the right wing. Here's Sensible. It's rebounded by
Oh, very good miss.
The Celtics have gone 4 of 6 from the floor in this third quarter. And you look at Jaylen Brown, Grant. Not many wings have the strength he has.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown could dunk over a brick wall. And he could dunk through a brick wall, too. It's just so hard to move him off his path when he's on his way to the rim.
There's 1:17 left in the third quarter. Here's Collier. The rebound by Jason Tatum. Tatum's got 4 rebounds now. Here's Brown. Utah grabs the miss. Bennett's got 6 rebounds now in the game. Markkanen with it. Porzingis picks him up defensively. And so he draws the foul, headed to the line to shoot a pair. And for a scorer as prolific as Markkanen, he doesn't need the ball in his hands too often.
So many of his scores come off assists. So just a great sense of when to get into space and become available.
And the first one at the line is good.
Well, there's a 7-footer who can own the glass and hit shots from the outside. Lauri Markkanen is everything you want in a big.
And so he's able to get 1 of 2.
Perfect.
Coach Lauri Markkanen, it's been an interesting study to watch his game continue to improve every year.
Yeah, it certainly has, Brian. You know, he was a complimentary player for quite a while, and then finally has developed into a primary offensive threat, and he has thrived.
And we've got 28 seconds left in the third quarter. Over to the left wing. Here's Sensible. Utah with another miss.
Well, he just doesn't have it right now. It's as simple as that. And his team is struggling as a result.
They set the pick. Brown passes to Queta. Take it away! Here's Sensible. Pass to Filipowski. Here's Collier. Count the basket. Collier's got 5 points.
Unselfish basketball. That's what coaches love to see.
3 quarters of play and a close one here. Celtics out in front, up by 2. And we've got more action coming your way after this break. All right, let's take a look at our assist of the game presented by State Farm.
Now, I know he's a big man, but he's got some point guard in him if he's making passes like this.
Yeah, well, this is the diversification of positions in this league. Everyone does everything now.
And with 3 quarters behind us, we'll start the 4th in what is still anybody's ball game. Filipowski out there with Williams. Then there's Collier, and it's Bennett in at the 5, roaming the paint. That's the 5 on the floor for the Jazz. The Celtics with the lead.
Very good game so far.
Here's Tatum. And a foul called on the way up. So he'll take 2 from the free throw line.
Well, this is the kind of pressure Tatum puts on defenses. He forces them to compromise with the foul.
First free throw is good.
Well, look, what makes Tatum special is he helps you in all 3 phases of the game. Offense, defense, and on the glass.
Walsh is checked in for Boston. No good on the second free throw.
Just money from the line. Tatum knows the importance of making free throws.
They get it back. Pass to Sensabaugh. And he sinks that one, hitting the back of the rim on the way in. Here's Tatum. To the middle. Oh, got a piece of it. Here's Kata. Utah grabs the miss. And following this one, they'll take on the Hawks in Atlanta. It's a quick turnaround on the road. Just 1 game. And it's Tatum with the ball for Boston. It's a 1-point game. There's a screen. To the paint. Here's Hauser. Some solid defense from Williams.
Well, they know he can finish at the rim, but the defense did just enough to force the miss.
Coming down the stretch, it's still anyone's game.
Incredible effort and energy on both sides. These guys must be gassed.
And Joe Mazzulla has called timeout. He wants their game plan to be crystal clear at this point. Celtics making a switch here. Holiday is checked in. A chance here to catch up with Allie from the sideline.
During that last break, I heard Joe Mazzulla as he talked with the team. Coach was blunt with his assessment. He said to throw out everything that happened until now. It is a brand new game, and it's only a few minutes. Leave it out on the floor. Back to you guys.
As always, Allie, we thank you. Boston trailing. About 1.5 minutes into the 4th now. Pritchard, the pass to Tatum. Outside Holiday. Back to Tatum. Oh, Tatum takes the
Nice.
Well, just another night in the office for Jason Tatum. We've come to expect big games from him. He is that special.
The Jazz have gone 2 of 5 from the field in this final quarter. So it'll be 2 free throws. He was fouled in the act of shooting.
Heading play
Had
stop
to,
that easy
had
layup
to.
right there. I mean, make him earn it at the line.
And what do you guys think so far about the offensive approach for the Celtics?
Well, they've clearly been focused on getting the ball inside. And up to this point, the defense has not had an answer.
Well, something else that stands out is how they've shared the ball. I mean, they're getting a lot of their points from sharp passing.
That one's off. So he can't get either to fall. For Boston, they've gotten just 1 shot to fall out of 3 attempts in the 4th. And we're about 2 minutes into the fourth now. Fires for three. Connects from downtown.
Nice.
Now it's a 4-point Celtic lead.
Well, we talk about ice in his veins a lot, but this guy personifies that. What a clutch shot.
Pass to Markkanen. Lots of room. It's good. Set up beautifully by George. George has got his third assist of the night. Boston's gotten 3 of their 7 threes to find the net in this matchup. Outside Holiday.
Nice.
And it's Boston scoring again.
Huge bucket by Holiday there. His team really needed that one.
Now here's George. He's closely guarded. And the shot goes in.
Check out George showing up in the big moment, showing how ready he is to be that guy.
And Joe Mazzulla has called timeout. He wants to make sure they're purposeful with the game plan. Utah making a switch here. Hendricks is checked in. Fourth quarter keeps moving along. 3 minutes gone by now. And here's Holiday. Tatum a screen on George. Here's Holiday. Ooh, plenty of contact on that shot. Officials call the foul, and he'll take 2 free throws now.
Holiday's firing. Tough to keep up.
On the first, and that makes it a 3-point lead.
The first thing that comes up when you think of Jrue Holiday, defense. He's probably the best perimeter defender of his generation. He can guard multiple positions and gives full effort every night.
So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 4-point ball game.
Yeah, he's a guy you want at the line, and clearly not affected by the moment.
Pass to Kessler. Now George. Here in the fourth quarter, just under 2.5 gone by. Right wing. Shot clock at 6. Kessler finds Markkanen. Beyond the arc. Hendricks no good.
Ah, sweet.
Celtics lead by 4. Brown with it. Porzingis with a screen on George. Here's Brown. Up again. Impeccable timing from Porzingis. Nice.
Well, this is the dirty work you love to see Porzingis doing. Saving the play and getting them a bucket.
1:16 left in the fourth quarter.
You know, I think it's desperation time for them.
It's not going to be easy now. They're going to need just about everything to go right from this point on.
Here's Pollard. Here he goes. Yes, and it's George picking up the assist.
And you want him taking good shots at this point in the game, and that one was easy.
Well, with him, he's dangerous because he's so confident. He wants to deliver in these moments.
George against Holiday. Throws it up high.
Perfect.
Porzingis, a huge target.
Huge points from Porzingis. With his massive size, I like going to him there.
Timeout, Jazz. There's 49 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Here's George, driving in, counted.
Seeing the opening, George does not hesitate. I mean, just a great move.
Now here's Holiday. Double team on Holiday. Pass to Porzingis. Now here's Brown. Back to White. Clock at 6. Porzingis sets a screen. Tries yet again. The third shot of the possession finally falls for him. And the
This game's
Celtics lead by
over.
6.
Really feels like they're in control. They've got a big lead with time dwindling.
Yeah, and at this point, the focus is take care of the ball, no needless fouls, and no threes.
Now a timeout called by Utah. They trail by 6. Turning here to our analyst. What elements become the primary keys at this point?
They need to answer fast.
Yeah, and if they can get a decent look from 3, that's the shot to take. Not a lot of time to work with.
Once again, that was your Jazz Dancers. Dance team, get live.
$16 seconds left in the fourth quarter here. Here's Pollard. Shoots over White. Here's Hendricks. No good on the 3. And he commits the intentional foul.
Pollard. Second personal foul. Third team foul. At the line for the Celtics, Jaylen Brown. 2 shots.
He hits the first one, and that makes it a 7-point lead. And so both free throws good, and it's an 8-point ball game. And that one's good. Markkanen. So we see the Celtics get the win here. And they barely squeezed out the win here on the road.
And BA, the visiting team is always under some added pressure, but they made it work and got the win, whatever the margin may have been.
And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Grant Hill, Allie LaForce, and Coach Stan Van Gundy, this is Brian Anderson. Thank you for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. And time now to introduce our player of the game, Jason Tatum.
This has been Adenine. Thank you for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe.
PlayStation